What does silence have to do with the matter at hand? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. I am very happy to be the host of our morning practice, meditation, flourishing during times of uncertainty. Welcome. Today is Thursday. It's going to be a great day. Delighted you are here in our contemplative community here in Hollywood. The program is three parts. We always begin with a little inspiration. Today, I would like to borrow from Father Anthony DeMello and the importance of St. Ignatius's principle and foundation and the role that silence plays in it. Second, speaking of silence, we will move into a 20-minute silent meditation. We'll begin with uh, a little guided meditation. We'll turn our attention to the breath and sit in silence for 20 minutes. And the third part is upon St. Ignatius's own request. We do a little Jesuit daily examine where we notice where we might have missed God or where God has come alive in our everyday, ordinary lives. For the beginning, for the inspiration this morning, I am choosing Father Anthony DeMello's book, Seeking God Everywhere, uh, his little guide to the exercises, and he places tremendous importance, as did Ignatius, on the principle and foundation. I find this tremendously helpful. I usually reread it before every 8-day retreat I do, and I always find it very inspirational and enlivening. First principle and foundation. We are created to praise, reverence, and serve God our Lord, and by that means save our souls. After citing classical authors who witnessed to the need for silence, de Mello expounds on the unique significance of God. We need to fall in love with the Absolute. De Mello says, I would like to make some preliminary remarks on silence before we talk on the matter at hand. There is a little phrase from Thomas Merton that I find very beautiful. The world of men has forgotten the joys of silence, the peace of solitude, which is necessary to some extent for the fullness of human living. A few lines later, Merton adds, the human person cannot be happy for long unless they are in contact with the springs of the spiritual life which are hidden in the depths of one's own soul. If the human person is exiled constantly from their own home, locked out of their spiritual solitude, they cease to be a true person. There is only one way for people to confront themselves, and that is through silence. All of us need to develop a tolerance for silence, a home to ourselves, a place to touch the well springs of life inside of us. There is nothing as valuable as silence. All of us must go back and be in touch with our inner resources. There is one passage that I like very much in the Camaldolese Constitution that reads, we are frequently cast out from our own hearts as the sea casts out a body. This is very vivid, well described. We go into our hearts and are pushed out. We cannot take it. We cannot stay. We cannot be still. Yet, as these constitutions state, To the quiet and persevering hermit, the silence of the cell brings about a blessed sweetness, a refreshing sweetness that tastes of paradise. Earlier in the year, I presented a little excerpt from the article, We Are All Monks Now, in the middle of this pandemic. And if we have to live in a pandemic, why not move towards silence to simply taste or have a refreshing sweetness that tastes of paradise? I don't know of any better way to move in that direction than through a morning practice. So I invite you now to get comfortable. Take your shoes off, place your feet on the ground, unplug from all technology. It might be the very best gift you give yourself this morning or this year. I will set the timer for 20 minutes. I'll ring the bell to get us started, and I'll ring the bell at the completion of our 20 minutes. I invite you to close the eyes or lower the eyes, anything that feels safe and comfortable to you, and let's begin. Listen, listen, the sound of the bell returns us to our true home. To get grounded, we'll begin with a little diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, into the lower belly 3 times. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Last time, deeply as possible. Inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the breath. Engage your sacred word. Drop down to the ocean floor and enjoy a little deep rest. Please continue. Gently bring your attention back to the room. If your eyes were closed, go ahead, open the eyes, circle the wrist one way, then the other. Shake out anything you've been holding on to or felt like you could have let go of during the meditation. Excellent job, everyone. We'll now move into the third part of the morning practice, which is our Jesuit examen, becoming contemplatives in action. So here we also try to build a little community, a virtual community, literally across the globe. I see some of you, good job, Craig, have already written in. Please feel free. Tell us where you're meditating from, and feel free to put in any way God has come alive recently for you. So in the examen, we just kind of cultivate a little bit attitude of gratitude, and we notice where Christ has been moving in our lives and in our world. So I will begin by saying first, you probably noticed I did less of a guided meditation today because I really picked up and loved what Father DeMello said about silence is literally and figuratively a sweet taste of paradise in our everyday lives. And I always tell people if I could manufacture a little pill that you took once a day and it gave you a sweet taste of paradise in your life, we could probably build 10 centers and 20 Genevieve gardens across Los Angeles. And yet, silence is so simple, it's almost too good to be true. We just drop down, turn our gaze inwards, and experience the miracle of mindfulness, as Thich Nhat Hanh says. So I I really loved the way DeMello presents the principle and foundation that it all really begins with this silence, this stillness. We go within or we go without. So that got my morning off to a great start and was so happy to be able to share it with all of you. Second was yesterday was Genevieve Garden, and on the Blessed Sacrament Hollywood Facebook page, I had to almost reload my computer and do a double take. But Genevieve's Garden, thank you, Pedro Marquin, has done a beautiful ad for it, and it had 1,200 hits on Facebook. So I am personally storming heaven with prayers that from those hits, not only will donations come in, but what very much right now we need volunteers to come and join us in this beautiful, beautiful ministry on the Jesuit campus at Blessed Sacrament. And then third but not least, one of my favorite parts of the month is the last Sunday at 11 of every month. We do the Jesuit Alumni Mass, and this Sunday at 11, I am presiding. So I love St. Ignatius's idea of setting the world on fire with our hearts on fire. And my heart is on fire with preaching a little bit more about Ignatius and the principle and foundation of the exercises and how it opens up our hearts and our lives, even in the middle of a pandemic. So I would also appreciate, spread the word, invite any Jesuit alumni you know to tune in. We have an opportunity to get not only alumni from LA, but literally all over the globe. So Sarah does beautiful music, and we have, I believe it's an outside liturgy. So if you're in Hollywood, come on by. But if you're not, tune in. I promise you it will be a really beautiful experience. I'm very, very excited about the Jesuit alumni liturgies, and we have them the first Sunday of every month. Not this Sunday, we took a little break, but after that, we always have a speaker afterwards, and they've been fantastic. Joe Labrie, Jamal Adams, Allison from Homeboys, every Father Greg Boyle, every month they've really been outstanding. So yeah, tune in at 11 this Sunday. And yes, so that's where God's been moving in my life. And especially one of the great graces of this pandemic is to be able to have a contemplative community in a morning practice where we come together and just notice how God is moving in our world, in our lives, and turn the gaze inwards a little bit. So feel free to put your comments in the comment box. Once again, thank you for joining us this morning. Have a beautiful Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. God bless you.